Hello, today we're going to make t-shirt bags. So you want to buy a t-shirt at the thrift store, and you can get some with print on them, but I kind of prefer the ones that are just plain. They're just easier to work with in case you get right side, wrong side turned around. But if it does have some kind of lettering or print or something, look on the inside and make sure you can't see through onto the inside. Then the inside will become the outside and the print will be on the inside of your bag. So you want to also make sure your t-shirt does not have a seam, that it's a smooth ring t-shirt. It doesn't have a seam down the sides or a pocket. You don't want the pocket ones. So when you first start out, you cut one sleeve, you lay it out flat, smooth it out. You cut one sleeve here and you kind of go a little bit in and then straight up, and you keep your sleeve. Then you fold it over like this and you cut your second sleeve just to match the exact cutting of the first. And we're going to kind of cut even with this point all the way over here. We're going to kind of go up and then straight up too. We're going to make our strap so it'll look like this. So you have your shirt with both your sleeves cut out and your front piece cut out. See how they're kind of, fairly equal there. Then you will end up, this is the t-shirt just as we had it laid out flat, you will have a U. So this is the last time you want to see a U, because if you put your design here, it's all wrong. Your design's going to go under your arm on the t-shirt. So what we're going to do is fold these in like that and do a little top stitch. This will be the inside of the shirt. What I like to do, see where I've got it chalked here, is I like to very carefully cut a little bit of this excess inside the seam. Just cut that out, because you've got the seam here, which will be now the outside, and this will be the inside, but it'll just take out that bulk. You're going to fold it over once, fold it over twice, and then top stitch all the way around the sleeve, all the way around the neck, and all the way around this sleeve. So you'll end up with something that looks like this, and I've just got it pinned down. So that's about the way it'll look. And you see this t-shirt did have a print on it, but you couldn't see it from the outside. It's beautifully camouflaged and masked. So I just went ahead and left this on here. It won't be a huge distraction. So now, instead of a U, which we no longer want, we've turned our shirt sideways. So now we have an O. We have an O up here. And you want to know, this is your bag. This is the inside of your bag. What we do with those sleeves that we just cut off, you can see I have quite a stack of sleeves. So this will be the pocket. And what you can do is you can put it on a rotary cutting board. If you want to just measure, you're going to take kind of a wide point here. You're going to cut off that little bit of a curve, make it squared up here, and get the biggest pocket out of any piece you can. They don't have to be a regulation size. You're just going to use one per bag. And I like to do a design on my pocket. So this one I've done a little amanitas mushroom, and I want to show you. So down here on the corner, you fold in a triangle, and then you sort of have a mitered corner, and I like to pin them down. And on the front, you just turn down. See, this is the front top of our pocket, which is the edge of the sleeve. You turn down a corner and then start sewing. So when we top stitch, it'll make a nice even point. You can use flowers. I've got flowers and hearts or leaves or anything on top of your pocket, and you want to do it in a fun contrasting color. So here's a completed bag that I did a flower on a green pocket on a green t-shirt or gray t-shirt, and you can see it's all finished off the edges. That's the inside, outside, and then I just put a button accent in the middle of that. So now we have our O. We're going to have our little stitched, so and it's going to be turned under to the inside of this. We're going to stitch around the armholes and the neck hole, and then we want to place our decorative pocket. This will be the outside. So what I usually do is I kind of reach down in here and I put a pin here, and then I reach up from the bottom on one layer only, just the top layer. I reach up from the bottom and I put a pin here, and then I take all the bottom and get it out of my way, and then pin my pocket directly to the t-shirt. And when we top stitch it, we're just going to take I don't know, whatever your presser foot feels good. We've got it turned under about 1/3 of an inch, so we'll probably take about 1/4 of an inch and just do a pretty little top stitch down. And I usually like to back up and down on this just to give it a little extra girth. But on the design, I don't know if you can see, but I go all the way around and I come to my point. Then I take a big needle and I put my threads back through. So then they're gonna look like this. They're gonna be just, I'm gonna take my bobbin thread and my top thread of my white bit and my red bit, and I'm just gonna knot them back here. That way there's not a big, back stitch on the top side of the design, but it doesn't matter on the pocket. You just back stitch, go all the way around, come back up here and back stitch. So this is a bag that's completed. You can see my pocket is on the outside. We're on the inside. This is our folded down edging. So this is on the inside, and then what we're going to do is actually just go about 1/4 inch, put your presser foot there, and sew up the bottom right there. Now that's the bottom of our bag. When we get that sewn, I like to take, so we'll kind of iron that flat, just as best you can. I like to take about 3 inch. You can make them bigger. They'll hold more, but they'll be shorter bags, so you can make them a little bit less. But I find 3 inches good. I just measure 3 inches here to here, mark it, 3 inches here to here, mark it, and I just chalk a line and sew right there. So both of these have been sewn. After I sew across my little mitered edge, it's going to make a nice box bottom. I fold it over, give it a press right here on the seam. I fold it over on the inside, make sure I don't catch anything underneath. So I just make sure it's only one layer, and I sew from my stitching to the corner, which also lines up with the seam, and back down here, and it makes a beautiful outside edge like this. So you have your seam and you have your little mitered corner, and it makes a nice fun flat bottom on your bag. And here's one with just the mushroom, and you can see that the edging, I do a double stitch. I do one, first one is kind of on the outside, and then the next one is just caught in there, and it just gives your strength into your straps better. So that is my tutorial. Have fun making t-shirt bags.